안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Friday's edition of the Culture Wave. I'm Kwon Soo-ah in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-venues, K-sports, K-everything. And for today's show, we're going to do all of that with Yoon Se-young, a familiar face on the Culture Wave. Hello, Se-young.
Hello, Soa. Hello. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Normally, you'd catch me in Trend Vibes, but today, I'm in charge of K-entertainment news, filling in for Walter Lee, so please don't go anywhere and stay tuned.
All right, thank you very much for filling in today, Se-young. And we're also joined by our news features reporter, Park Konu. Hello, Konu.
Hi, and hi, Se-young as
Hi,
well.
Konu.
And then, hi, everyone. I'm Konu Park. I'm back with some more fun news.
All right, Konu. I kind of hinted it in the opening before, but we are going to talk about K venues or a specific K venue today. And you have been to a very special place in the capital, Seoul, recently. Where was that?
So I was at Dongdaemun Design Plaza, one of the landmarks in Seoul, which celebrates its 10th anniversary this year.
Wow, already 10th anniversary.
I know. Wow,
I think
can't
it
believe it.
seems like yesterday when they opened the DDP.
I know.
So for our viewers from all around the world, tell us a little bit more about this landmark.
Of course, so Dongdaemun Design Plaza, or DDP, was actually an architecture designed by Zaha Hadid, an Iraqi-born British architect, and she won the Pritzker Architecture Award for the first time as a woman to receive this prestigious award, also referred to as the Nobel Prize for Architecture. And the DDP is made of some 45,000 aluminum panels with different sizes and shapes. And it's also peculiar as it's a columnless structure with an undulating curve design. And around 100 million people have visited since it opened in 2014. And then the very special part here, the one that I saw was, as it marks the 10th anniversary, the DDP has come up with a new type of tour, which allows people to go up on the roof.
Oh, on the roof.
Yes.
That is interesting.
That is really interesting. And it was really interesting. So everyone, for more, why don't you join me to this new journey? Breathing in the autumn breeze from way above the ground. This is now possible as Dongdaemun Design Plaza, a landmark in central Seoul, has opened its rooftop to the public from late October to commemorate its 10th anniversary. Tourists can experience being on the very top of the DDP among its asymmetrical aluminum panels and succulent sedum plants. I'm now out on this thrilling tour walking on the roof of this 29-meter tall structure. It's a bit shaky and slippery, but tied to this strong rope with this helmet on, I can't feel any safer. The tour safety system is certified by DEKRA, a global testing and inspection company. Local safety organizations also inspected the area for 9 months. Accompanied by safety personnel, only 10 people aged 18 to 70 and weighing under 100 kilograms can take the tour due to safety issues. One of the best parts is that you can take neat pictures with Seoul's famous tourist attractions behind you, including Namsan Tower and Dongdaemun Gate.
It was fantastic coming up here and seeing the panorama of Dongdaemun. It seems like this place put a lot of effort into safety, so it feels extremely safe.
As Dongdaemun is usually known for its shopping districts, I want to tell people that this place is also a great tourist spot. I think it can be a new trendy tourist spot for a lot of foreigners.
For now, it's a free pilot program running twice a day from Friday to Sunday until November 17th, but a paid tour is in the pipeline.
This type of rooftop tour is probably the first in Korea. We'll increase the number of tours next year by preparing more fun content along with safety measures.
Well, that really looked like a fun experience.
It is. I thought at first, it would be a little bit scary, but just looking at the facial expressions of the people, they looked very comfortable.
Right. And also Konu's facial expression.
That was so comfortable.
Tell us a little bit more about that experience on the roof of the DDP.
Yeah, of course. I really enjoyed it, as you saw in my coverage. And especially, I really like riding on roller coasters and all sorts of amusement park rides. I love those kinds of thrilling activities. And this actually reminded me of the Harbor Bridge climbing tour back when I was in Sydney, traveling there last year. And I
really found it intriguing, and it's the first time that Korea actually has this kind of tour, so it was really interesting. But before I went up there, I thought it would be a bit too thrilling, because it kind of made me feel like a bungee jump, which I'm not a big fan of. But as there were so many safety measures like the helmet and all the ropes, it made me so safe, and it wasn't that scary after all. So I thought I could recommend this tour to a lot of people actually, even those who might be afraid of going up so high.
Really? Okay.
Wow. Gono, that makes me feel very brave. I almost want to try it myself.
Yeah.
So how can you sign up for this?
Yeah, so the Seoul Design Foundation, which is in charge of this program, actually says that it will be opening this tour soon, around next year. And they actually said probably in May and September to October period with more diversified walking courses. In that sense, I would recommend following and keeping an eye on their official Instagram account or their official website, which you will also be seeing on the screen right now. And then that's because tickets for the pilot program were all gone in just a few minutes.
Oh. So other than sightseeing on the DDP, there are probably tons of things you can do at the venue. So what else would you recommend for tourists or just for Seong and myself to do in the near future?
Yeah, so there are actually tons of activities that I would like to share that you can actually enjoy there. First of all, to mention the indoor tour, where you can actually look inside with the places that aren't usually open to the public, which was also included in this rooftop tour. That was really cool to see because you're able to see how the DDP circulates air. Because the place, if you have visited, you might know there's no windows at all. So you might be very curious how they circulate the air, and that's you can see while you're doing the indoor tour. Yes. And then, so that was a really special experience. Other than that, you can explore various exhibitions, and also there are many events there and also many shopping malls nearby. So you can enjoy a shopping experience as well.
Of course. All right, Konu, thank you very much for that report and for always venturing out to these diverse places.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah,
Thank
see you
you,
next week.
Konu.
Thank you.
Time for some K-entertainment news with Yoon Se-young. Se-young, NewJeans has made a record, a very cool record, I hear.
Yes, that's right. NewJeans, a fourth-generation girl group I personally adore, has added another song to their 200 million stream club. According to Spotify, the world's largest music streaming platform, one of the triple title tracks from NewJeans' second EP, Get Up, which is called Cool With You, has reached this milestone as of this past Wednesday. So with this song, NewJeans, this has become NewJeans' 10th song to join this 200 million stream songs.
Wow, already their 10th such achievement while they just debuted in 2022, if I'm correct. So Seong, could you refresh our minds a little bit on that song, Cool With You?
Sure. Cool With You was released in 2023, July, and it has a similar vibe to other tracks on the same album, like Super Shy and ETA. It's kind of a song you can just chill to, but the music video takes it to the whole new level because the global stars like Tony Leung and Jung Ho-yeon appear in it.
Jung Ho-yeon, of course, also one of the superstars in Squid Game.
Right, that's right, giving it a cinematic feel. And now they have 13 songs with over 100 million streams on Spotify. And in total, all of NewJeans' songs combined have almost 5.4 billion streams on this streaming service. So I'm very excited to see what these amazing girls will achieve next.
Probably many more achievements to come up.
Right.
So Se-young, what is our next story?
Our next story is about Boy Next Door, a major success story of idols produced by idols. Do you remember this? So we talked about it
yes,
before.
we had that in Trend Vibes before.
Right. They are a great example of that. Boy Next Door will kick off their Knock On Volume 1 tour on December 14th and 15th in Incheon before taking the stage in 13 different cities across Asia. That includes Tokyo, Manila, Taipei, and Jakarta. Jakarta. And as soon as the pre-sale opened on Thursday, every seat was sold out at lightning speed, even those with restricted views.
Wow.
And debuting in May 2023 under the production of Zico, formerly of Block B, Boy Next Door have been making waves, and their third mini album called 19.99, released in September, hit a milestone by selling over 1 million copies and marking their first million seller. And exciting to think about how incredible the concert will be and the special memories the fans will make with the boys.
So happy to see so many great achievements by K-pop girl groups as well as boy groups.
Right.
And what is our final story?
For our final story, let's talk about movie this time. As the weather gets colder, I think it's the perfect time to enjoy some warm romance movie. And a Taiwanese movie, youth romance film called Hear Me, remade in Korea as Cheongseol or Hear Me Our Summer. And this movie topped the box office on Wednesday and Thursday for 2 straight days. And this is particularly impressive when considering other movies competing with it, with this movie that includes a Hollywood blockbuster Venom: Last Dance. Yet Cheongseol Hear Me Our Summer has held onto the top box office with this unique charm that really resonates with the audience. And the film even boasts a stunning 97% on the CGV Golden Egg rating and other receiving high scores across major multiplexes in Korea. So if you are interested in a story of pure and heart-fluttering young love story, I think this weekend might be the perfect time to check it out in movie theaters.
I was actually considering going to the movies this weekend. Maybe that's going to be on my list.
Right.
So thank you very much, Seong, for those K-Enter news, and stick around.
Thank you.
And now for other culture-related news, we turn to our AI anchor, Ari.
Welcome to the Culture Wave AI News. Let's jump right into our first story. Puccini's La Bohème, a winter favorite for opera lovers, will take the stage at the Sejong Center for the Performing Arts in Seoul later this month. The Seoul Metropolitan Opera has said it will stage its first ever La Bohème in its 40-year history from October 21st to 24th, in commemoration of the 100th anniversary of Puccini's passing. The cast features soprano Seo Sun-young, a Tchaikovsky competition winner, alongside tenor Moon Se-un, baritone Lee Seung-wang, and a talented ensemble of vocalists renowned both nationally and internationally. Set on Christmas Eve in 19th century Paris, La Bohème captures the romance, joy, and struggles of young impoverished artists. The Seoul Arts and Tech Festival Unfold X, where cutting-edge technology meets contemporary art, has launched at Culture Station Seoul 284 in Yongsan. Under the theme 2084 A Space Odyssey, the festival invites spectators to explore the present through a futuristic lens shaped by technology. It features pioneering works in art and tech by both domestic and international artists, along with a diverse array of academic events and performances that promise visitors fresh, thought-provoking perspectives. The admiration for Nobel Prize laureate Han Kang's work is showing no sign of waning, as her books continue to dominate local bestseller lists, competing fiercely for the top spot. This week on Yobo's bestseller list, Han's Human Acts claimed first place, following the rise of the vegetarian to the top the week before. Meanwhile, to celebrate Han's win, the Korean Cultural Center in France is hosting a Korean literature exhibition in Paris. It's titled The Miracle of Hangang, inspired by the phrase miracle on the Hangang River, which symbolizes Korea's remarkable post-war economic growth. That's all from me. Keep it tuned to the Culture Wave.
I'ma make it boom, boom, boom. Vamos, I know that you want it, boom. Chaos, we so catastrophic, boom. La ta ta ta, I'ma make Give me whiplash, you drop with a big flash. 집중해 and think fast. 이유는 이모텔. 왜 이제야 너와 did that? They won't know I've been bad. Don't stop 흔들린 채. 무리여도 can't touch that. I'm the highlight, it's your red light. It's a nice about me. You know it's my side. Got your legs tight.
From baseball to football, we will delve into the latest sports issues in our K-Sports segment with sportscaster Jason Lee. Jason, happy Friday. Welcome back.
Happy Friday. Thanks for having me in the studio today. It's good to get out of my apate. So good to be here in the studio today.
Welcome, Jason.
I liked that.
Where's your purple, by the way? We're both wearing purple.
I have this pen, purple pen.
There you
Yes,
go.
helpful too.
All right, we're not going to start with 아파트, but of course with sports news. And Jason, 2 weeks ago, we left off with the KBO, the Korean series, before the Kia Tigers, of course, won their 12th championship with just 5 games, was it, to defeat the Samsung Lions. So apart from the scores of the games, what insights can you give us about the past KBO series?
That's right. First off, yes, it was 5 games that Kia needed to defeat Samsung. In Game 5, they went on to a 7-5 win. But this game was actually, with Samsung in control up until the 3rd inning. They were leading 5-1 before Kia got 6 unanswered runs and went on to win the game. So Kia has been the best offensive team all season, and this was just another fine example of, even though they're behind, you can never count them out. They're always able to beat up on another team's bullpen especially, and that's what they did in game number 5. If you look at the series overall, I have to say, though, that Samsung was very unfortunate for a couple of reasons. First off, game number 1, which was an absolute pitching duel that Samsung took the lead of, 1-0 in the 6th inning. Rain suspended that game. That had to be played 2 days later because of a rain suspension. So really the momentum by then was gone. And as mentioned, of course, Kia can always come from behind, which they were able to do. And also Samsung suffered a lot of crucial injuries. So Koo Ja-wook, who was basically their best player, he was injured in the series before against LG, so he didn't play in the Korean series at all. Also, their catcher, Kang Min-ho, who is one of the all-star, probably the top 2 catchers in the KBO, he got injured in Game 4, so did not play in that final game on Game 5. Also, Won Tae-in, he pitched great in game number 1 for Samsung, but then got injured in game number 4. That was a game that they lost, partly perhaps because of his injuries. So injuries, good fortune, it really favored Kia on this side. But at the same time, you can say that maybe they made their own luck, because the way that the Korean playoffs work is if you win the regular season, you have a bye straight to the Korean series. So Kia really didn't have to play any other games other than the Korean series. Samsung had to go through LG in order to get there. That's where they suffered the injury for Koo Ja-wook. So really, you could say that it was earned by Kia, but at the same time, Samsung really did have some misfortune along the way.
So maybe Seyoung is wearing blue for consolation to Samsung. And we are a mix of the Kia Tigers and the Samsung Lions, because red and blue turns into purple.
Red and blue makes purple. There you go.
My husband's gonna be really angry if
he's a
he
Kia fan?
hears that. Yeah, he's a huge fan of Kia Tigers. But anyways, Jason, we had a lot of great players this season, but among them, Kim Seon-bin was named the MVP of this series. So what made his series stand out for the honor?
You know, honestly, Kim Seon-bin, I thought in particular, was sort of like a quiet giant or a little giant. He's actually quite short, maybe 5'4", 5'5" or so. But
right, so 165 centimeters.
Yeah, 165 centimeters or so. Not the biggest guy, but he's typically just not a guy that you notice very much. And even in the Korean series, He hit, I think, 588, but he didn't really seem like the MVP going in. Like a lot of us, we're in the media, we're talking about Kim Tae-gun, Kia's catcher, perhaps having the lead for winning MVP in the series. He hit a grand slam in game number 4, which really helped them to secure that victory. But Kim Sun-bin, as mentioned, he had 10 hits in the series. He hit 10 for 17, meaning that he averaged 2 hits every game. Also played good defense, didn't strike out at all in any of the games while still walking 3 times. So he did all the little things right that really sparked Kia in terms of their offense. Also played solid defense on at second base as well. So a guy that's not very noticeable typically, but in this series, he really was a spark for Kia to go on and win the series.
So after becoming the MVP, probably now he will be more noticeable to all the baseball fans.
Perhaps.
And staying with baseball awards, you know, at the end of the year, we have a lot of award ceremonies awarding K-pop stars, actors, actresses, but also, of course, sports players. And we are still in November. We are in November, right? It's already November. Yes. And recently, I understand an award that recognizes the best KBO pitcher has already been announced. So what's that about?
That's right. So the Chae Dong-won Award goes to the best pitcher in the KBO. And this year, that was awarded to Kyle Hart of the NC Dinos. He led the league in strikeouts. He was second in ERA and third for wins. But very well deserved from him. And I must note that also he was third in wins, but he played for NC, who was second last in the league. So had he been pitching for a better team, perhaps he would have had a better opportunity to even be more improved in that stat. But certainly he had a great season. He's the second straight NC Dino pitcher to win this award, because Eric Fetty won this award last year after winning the pitching triple crown for wins, strikeouts, and ERA. And Fetty was able to translate that into a 2-year, $15 million contract in Major League Baseball, as he was signed by the Chicago White Sox in the offseason. He was eventually traded to the St. Louis Cardinals, but importantly, he was able to transition from the KBO to Major League Baseball. Now, Kyle Hart probably is not going to be able to get that kind of money, but at the same time, he might be able to translate some of his performance in Korea into a return to Major League Baseball, so something to look out for.
So it looks like a very significant award.
Absolutely. And I might also note that it was only the baseball pitching award that was announced right now. They'll have the remaining award ceremony on December the 9th, where they'll announce the Gold Glove winners and MVPs and all that as well.
That's what I was thinking. Usually you have those awards in
December.
Yeah.
They announced this one a little bit earlier because it's done separately from the Chae Dong-won Foundation. Chae Dong-won, one of the top 2 pitchers ever in the KBO, and they have this award named after him. So they did this separately.
Exactly. So now baseball is not over though, although the KBO series is done. Korea's national team played a couple of games against Cuba last weekend. So to tune up for the WBSC, or World Baseball Softball Confederation Premier 12. So tell us a little bit more about that specific tournament.
Yeah, certainly a little bit of a mouthful. So we'll just call it the Premier 12 right now. But this is another international baseball tournament. It is different from the Olympics. It is different from the World Baseball Classic. The World Baseball Classic is somewhat organized by Major League Baseball. Of course, the Olympics, well, we know who they're organized by. This Premier 12 is organized by the Baseball and Softball Confederation, the international event. And what they do for this one is Korea typically sends not their B team, but sort of their younger team. These are more the guys that are in their early to mid-20s, and perhaps in a couple of years' times when they have the World Baseball Classic in 2026 and when they have the Olympics in Los Angeles in 2028, Korea wants these players to really highlight their team by then. So they're using this as a springboard to hopefully help them along their international career. And if we take a look at the games, it will start on November the 13th. Korea will take on Chinese Taipei. They also have games against, let's see, Japan, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, as well as Australia. So that is going on from the 13th to the 18th in terms of Team Korea. And if Korea can finish in the top 2 of their group, then they'll advance to the semifinals. Korea, by the way, won the inaugural event of this tournament back in 2015, and they came second in 2019 as well. So this is a tournament that, like I said, most countries don't put as much prestige in this compared to the other tournaments that I mentioned. But at the same time, this is a tournament that Korea has done well in the past. And as you talked about the games against Cuba, they defeated Cuba 2-0 and 13-3. So even with their younger stars highlighting the team, they've shown that they can play with the best in the world.
Oh, so definitely something to look out for.
Right.
And very briefly, we have one more story, I think, to talk about.
Shifting gears to Korea's football star Son Heung-min. What's the latest on Son's health conditions? I heard that he played for the Tottenham Hotspurs last weekend and a little bit last night as well.
That's right. He's been out with a leg injury, but he did get in on the weekend against Aston Villa, where Tottenham were 4-1 winners. Son Heung-min played until the 56th minute before being removed. And last night, playing in the Europa against Galatasaray, he played just the first half, played 45 minutes. They actually lost that game 3-2. I would say a little bit of an upset loss for them personally. But the good thing is Son is back on the field. And of course, Korea plays on the 14th against Kuwait, as well as on the 19th against Palestine. So it looks like head coach Hong Myung-bo should be able to have his star player in the lineup. The question will be how much, provided that he doesn't have any setbacks in training.
Let's root for his health.
Absolutely.
And great games ahead. So thank you very much, Jason, for those sports updates.
Pleasure as always.
Thank you.
And thank you, Sejong. We will see you again next week for Trend Vibes.
I'll see you next week.
Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. I wish you a great weekend, and please join us again next week, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Korea time, and maybe one day here in Korea.